Well, it makes sense that people have been talking about Universal Pictures merging the Jurassic series and the Fast and Furious series. Both of these franchises have gone so far off the rails. Let's talk about Jurassic World Dominion. Hey guys, Dan here. This is Dan Reviews It. Welcome to my spoiler-free review of Jurassic Park Dominion. We're going to keep this very spoiler-free here because the film just came out last night. But my name is Dan. Welcome to Dan Reviews It. I want to thank you for finding this video. Please consider subscribing down below. We'd love to have you aboard here. So let's talk about this movie. Like I mentioned, it really, this whole series has gone wildly off the rails. And the last one in the franchise was terrible. Jurassic Park Fallen Kingdom. It was so bad. I gave it a D. Really, all this movie had to do was be better than that. And with the hopes of maybe being better than Jurassic Park 3. So we'll find out if it cleared that pretty low bar, as it is. But look, you might know that, the main cast from the original movie returns. I don't think that is a spoiler. They're all over the posters. They're in the previews. Sam Neill, Jeff Goldblum, and of course the wonderful Laura Dern all are returning here. And I believe this is the first movie where they're all together since that very first one. We've seen various people in different films. In fact, Goldblum was in the last movie in I think 2 scenes. He was touted as the return of Dr. Ian Malcolm, but he's literally in 2 scenes. So whatever. But here, no, he has a bigger part. Everybody does, has a pretty meaty role here, and an important one in this movie. And of course, the cast from the Jurassic World series is still here as well. Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard, and a lot of people returning from some of those previous films. Justice Smith, Daniela Prida, B.D. Wong, who was in the very first Jurassic Park, and then he's been in all 3 of the Jurassic World movies. He's here too. And basically the plot is that, we're taking place now in about real time, 4 years or so after Isla Nublar has been destroyed. Dinosaurs now live and hunt alongside the rest of the world with the humans. But there's a lot more to it than that. In fact, a little bit maybe too convoluted, but there is a bunch of locusts, giant locusts, this size locusts that are destroying crops all over the world. And so through that, everybody sort of re-teams and finds each other. But the big deal with Owen and Claire, who's, Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard, they have, control essentially of this girl, Maisie Lockwood, who is a clone of Benjamin Lockwood's daughter. We discovered that in the last episode of Jurassic World. So he is, or she is in this, and they're trying to keep her from the rest of the world because people will want to study her and figure out how she is. So she, ends up going off, obviously, and getting captured. Of course, that's pretty clear. So all right, that's really as spoilery as I guess we'll get here. So yeah, this franchise, I have so many mixed feelings about it. The first movie obviously is a classic. It's among really the greatest movies I think of all time. And Steven Spielberg has been on, to produce, I think, all of them, or executive produce anyway, but other than that first movie, every movie in the franchise it doesn't make sense. Once you do Jurassic Park once, the dinosaurs eat everybody. Okay, then we stop. We have no more park, no more dinosaur cloning, none of that. But they kept it going. 2 is all right. 2 is actually not bad until that last half hour, and then 3 is pretty bad. Although I haven't seen it in a long time. Jurassic World is okay, but it's basically the first movie. But, it's fine. And then that second movie, the Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, is awful. Like I mentioned, I gave it a D. When I saw the runtime of this, another 2.5 hour one, I was like, okay, like, are we still digging that well of like, just this is so stupid and unbelievable? Yeah, I mean, there's so many things that happen in this movie that are beyond ridiculous. That's why I say, it makes sense to talk about merging it with the Fast and Furious world, because both of these franchises have just gone so beyond the pale with anything realistic. Not that, but look, cloning dinosaurs, it could be realistic with science. So the first one at least makes sense. Um, but the dinosaurs, if they're living among real people, would just eat us all and we'd all be dead. End of movie, end of life. So, but obviously we have to have something to keep the story going. So, the let's talk about the good, because I will say up front, yes, this is a better film than Fallen Kingdom. It would almost have to be, but yes, it is. And there's a few reasons for that. Number one, I think it's got some humor in it, and not just because of Goldblum. Goldblum was always kind of funny with his delivery. Although in the last movie, I don't remember him, doing any jokes, but he's pretty funny. But then you also have this camaraderie between this pilot, DeWanda Wise is who plays her. I'm not familiar with her. Although, I don't know. Let me look her up quick, because I do feel like I've seen her in something. She's got these like really piercing eyes that I feel like I've seen somewhere. Well, she was in Fatherhood, the Chris Rock movie. I did see that, I guess. Other than that, no, I don't really know her from anything. Okay. But she's pretty funny. She's this fighter pilot who decides to take some of the characters to the main factory and organization of the terrorist group, and she has some good lines, some fun camaraderie there between her and Bryce Dallas Howard and Chris Pratt. So I'll give it this: it has more life to it than Fallen Kingdom, for sure. Another thing I liked, when there are scenes in the dark. Believe it or not, I know this is crazy in this day and age in movies where you can't see anything that's happening. Batman, I'm looking at you, and many other movies, really. But I always knew what was happening in this movie. Even if they were in a scene at night or when the lights were mostly out, they would either have a flashlight or something. I could see what was happening in the movie. It was crazy because so many movies don't do that these days. So I liked that. And yeah, it was nice to see the original trio together again, for sure. There was some nice warmth in my heart there. Although I feel like this movie may have been too much about the people and not enough about the dinosaurs. I think if you're coming for the dinosaurs, there's some, but this is more about, I think, the people surrounding the dinosaurs. I'm not sure people are gonna, come in for that and enjoy it, but look, character development has never been a strength of this series, so I guess I can admire that they're trying a little bit harder than in previous films to give some depth to the characters. Although, Evil Man is still evil. Campbell Scott takes over that role from, I'll be honest, I don't remember who played him in the original Jurassic Park, but it was not Campbell Scott. I had to look it up, though, because I wasn't sure. They brought back so many people. I was like, was that the guy from the original? But it is not. So overall, yes, this is a better movie than Fallen Kingdom, but it is a complete mess. It's got so many problems. I would have to go back and watch Jurassic Park 3 again to see if this is better or worse than that. But look, I'm glad this is theoretically the end to this trilogy, and sort of bringing in the originals from the first trilogy. Great. In another 20 years, are we going to do another Jurassic? Probably. Hopefully we'll see maybe some other people. I don't really particularly care for Chris Pratt as an actor. I like him as Star-Lord, but that's about it. I feel like he's very one-note, and the one note I like for him is Star-Lord. So overall, I am going to leave Jurassic World Dominion. I teetered on this one, but I'm going to give it a C-. I thought maybe Maybe because it did a few things good, I'll give it a C, but it's such a mess. It's too long. Although I will admit I didn't feel the length of this nearly as long as, again, Fallen Kingdom. I'm ragging on it again, but all right. So that will do it. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see everybody next time on Dan Reviews It. Bye.